catch yourself deep in a 3 a.m. Google rabbit hole, analyzing your husband's behavior like you're an undercover FBI agent? Yeah, we've all been there. But what if I told you that obsession is actually the first step to freedom? Today, we're breaking down the 5 stages of recovery, why you start off hyper focused on him, how that shifts to you, and eventually how you become the badass mentor you never had. So grab your coffee or wine, no judgment, hit that like button, and let's talk about how healing really happens. Today, we are talking about something we all experience on this healing journey, how our focus shifts as we recover. Because in the beginning, it's all about him, right? Every thought, every emotion, every Google search is dedicated to figuring out what the heck is going on in his head. But as we grow, something changes. The obsession fades, the power shifts, and get this, we start thinking about ourselves. Wild, right? Recovery isn't just about getting away from abuse, it's about reclaiming you. And today we're diving into the 5 stages of this journey, from the detective phase to the rage phase, from deep self discovery to the moment you become the mentor you once needed. Let's break it all down. Because let's face it, healing is a messy, twisty, 2 steps forward, one major meltdown back kind of process. And if you're in the thick of it thinking, why am I still obsessing over this man-child's behavior? Don't worry, you're not alone. You're just in stage 1. Stage 1. The what in the ever-loving HE double toothpicks is happening phase. All right. So we all start here. This is the stage where your brain is essentially a detective on steroids. You're Googling terms like narcissistic abuse at 3 a.m., analyzing text messages like you're part of the FBI, and hyper fixating on every little thing he does. Why did he say that? Why does he act this way? Is it me? Am I the drama? Spoiler alert. No, you're not. He is. And listen, this phase is necessary. It feels like chaos, but what's actually happening is that your brain is trying really hard to make sense of the absolute nonsense it's been living in. You're trying to categorize, label, and explain the insanity. And that's okay. It's the beginning of awareness, and awareness is the first step to reclaiming your power. But let me also say this. If you're here, please do not beat yourself up for still thinking about him all the time. You are literally rewiring your brain. So be patient with yourself and maybe put the Google searches down for a second and go drink some water. Stage 2, the OMG, this is abuse revelation. All right. So once you've spent enough time in detective mode, you start to see it, like really see it. And oh, butterfly, this is when the anger kicks in. Suddenly, all those little things that you used to brush off, yeah, they weren't little. They were calculated. That time he ignored you for days, emotional abuse. The jokes at your expense, verbal abuse. The financial control, economic abuse. The constant gaslighting and lies, classic manipulation. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So, welcome to the righteous rage phase. This is when you start really digging into programs and resources. And if you're going through one of the courses inside of my program, the Flying Free Kaleidoscope, like our Dealing with the Dysfunctional Relationship course, this is where things start clicking. You realize it's not just your relationship, it's actually a pattern, like a global pattern. It's an entire blueprint of dysfunction. And here's where your brain shifts from figuring him out to figuring out the system of abuse itself. At this stage, you might be tempted to try and make him understand what he's doing, to get him to see the damage he's caused, to make him care. You're still trying to salvage the relationship, right? Butterfly, save your breath. He doesn't care. You could write a dissertation on his toxic behaviors with footnotes and references, and he will still act like you're speaking Swahili. And that's when you start moving into stage 3. Stage 3 is the hold up, this is about me moment. And oh, this is the good stuff. This is the phase where your focus shifts from him and his brain space to you and yours. And let me tell you, that is where the real magic happens. This is when you stop obsessing over his nonsense and start turning inward. You're going to start asking questions like, what is it about my belief system and my programming that had me believing that this was normal? What wounds do I need to heal so that I don't end up here again? What do I even like? What makes me happy? Who am I outside of this relationship? And this, my friends, is when you start reclaiming yourself. It's uncomfortable. It's messy. It's also where you might start feeling grief because you know what? You're not just grieving the relationship. You are grieving the version of yourself that has been stuck for years in survival mode. And that's hard. In Flying Free, we help you with this shift in focus by teaching you tools like the Clear Model tool and an extensive coaching library where you can listen to me coach women just like you on the same issues that you're going through on a private podcast. So stay with it because the next stage, whew, that is where things get really good. Stage 4, the I'm digging myself out era. At this point, you are taking action. You are setting boundaries, and you're learning how to do this through our boundaries course in Flying Free. You're protecting your peace like it's the crown jewels. You're no longer entertaining his nonsense because you're learning strategies that are making a huge difference in how you show up in that relationship. You're also building your new life. Maybe you're going back to school. Maybe you're rediscovering hobbies that you forgot you loved. Maybe you're finally experiencing joy again and realizing that you don't need anyone's permission for that. It's empowering, it's liberating, and best of all, you are starting to trust yourself again. Stage 5, the helping others season. The full circle moment. At this point, you've walked through fire and come out on the other side. You see new women entering your sphere of influence, coming into the Flying Free program where you've been for a while, drowning in confusion and pain, and you think, I remember that. I was her once. And that's when you start giving back. You share your story. You validate others. You reinforce the lessons, not just for them, but for you too. You remind them that they're not crazy and you help them keep going. We have so many women who are in this stage in our private forum who are now turning around and offering their hard-won wisdom to the rest. And that is how we build a strong community. That is how we break cycles, not just in our own lives, but on a global level. This is how we keep growing, by lifting one another up. So beautiful butterfly, wherever you are in this process, whether you're deep in stage 1, halfway through stage 3, or fully thriving in stage 5, just know this: healing is not linear. Ask me how I know. And every stage is necessary. You are doing the work. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. And you are not alone. Oh my goodness, you're not alone. If you would like to do this work with me and hundreds of other butterflies, join the Flying Free Kaleidoscope. A kaleidoscope is a flock of butterflies. And that's what we are, a beautiful group of colorful, vibrant Christian women who are spreading our wings and learning how to fly. Go to joinflyingfree.com to learn more and get started, and I'll see you on the inside.